You said one word resonated in that last statement about truth. I would like you to comment on Louis Buñuel's comment. I'm for anyone who seeks the truth, but I part ways when they claim they found it.
Oh, well, Goodwill is like one of the most awesome filmmakers of all time. So, yeah, I agree with that. Truth is a multifaceted animal, and just because it's like grabbing onto a glob of water. As soon as you grab it, it starts leaking through your fingers, and so the seeking the truth is a far different thing than claiming you have the truth. Again, wisdom helps you understand reality, but you'd have to be crazy to think that you understand reality. You have a grasp of reality. You might even have a good grasp of reality, but there's no way that a punny human being is ever going to understand the truth. Of the real problem with truth is that it's all subjective anyway. We don't have an objective reality. Our reality is formed by our life, by what we read, by what our parents taught us or our teachers taught us, and the things that we can learn in the limited time period that we're here. So reality is a diamond with 1,000 facets, and just because you know 600 facets, there's no way that unless you discover the elixir of life and live to be 1,000 years old, then you might have a shot at understanding this reality. The Vedic teachings say that you don't get to leave this plane until you know everything about this plane.
Who
You
says
keep
that?
the Vedic, the Hindu,
Oh,
but
okay,
Hindu is
okay.
actually a slang term that the Arabs created. So I don't like to use the term Hindu. I like
Right.
the term the Vedic teachings, which are really, I think, the most profound teachings, especially the Purana texts and the Bhagavad Gita. So they say you don't get out of this realm of existence. You recycle, and you forget. You have the curse of forgetting your memory over and over and over again until you finally understand everything about this plane, and then you get out. And so um, I kind of made it my life's journey to understand everything about this plane that I could, because I'm hoping I'm getting out this time. But there's no guarantees either. So.
Good. That was good, Jim. Uh, a screenwriting teacher told me that a great film or a great piece of art is when you can clearly see the intention of the maker. In talking with other filmmakers, someone said Kubrick says the opposite. That a great film is when you can clearly not see the intention of the maker. What role does intention play in your creative process?
Well, that's an interesting question because I've just finished a feature film, my first feature film in 20 years, and moved from documentaries into features. And I have to say that I started out making one film, and the film insisted on being made another way. And so the film actually wrote itself. It was the craziest, wackiest process I've ever been in, and I really don't think I ever want to be in a process as crazy and wacky as that. But the content of the film is so quirky and off the wall that I guess that was the only way that it could be made. But Stanley was right in a way in that you don't want to deliver your intentions so in an open manner because then you make it too easy on the viewer. And so he chose to make it as difficult as possible on the viewer. And in doing that, he was more concerned with the few people that would go back and rewatch his films because he knew that they were going to get the real scoop, and those who just gave a cursory glance to his films and walked away, well, he doesn't care about them. All he cares about is the ones who are smart enough to go back and rewatch it. And I mean, I must have seen 2001: A Space Odyssey 50 times before I was 23 years old. I would go from city to city if it was playing. I would go see it. Sometimes I would sit in the theater twice to see it right in a row. and all of his films I've seen many times. And in that, I have began to discover the second and third and fourth layers of the film that's inside his films, like three-dimensional chess. And I began to reveal them. And I think that I've shown other filmmakers that being so blatantly obvious isn't necessary. And there's been two films that have come out since Kubrick's Odyssey, which best evoke the subtext of the way that Kubrick made his films, and they're both recent films. One is Ridley Scott's Prometheus, which is really a remake of 2001: A Space Odyssey, and the second one is, interestingly enough, The Dark Knight Rises by Christopher Nolan. Both are jam-packed with symbolic, subliminal, Kubrick-esque stylings. And I don't think anybody who has seen those films has actually figured them out, including myself. And I have Prometheus ordered on Blu-ray, and I will be getting that soon. And I've also got the order in for The Dark Knight Rises. But I've only seen each film once, but I can tell you that they are packing a lot of symbolic things into their films, and they haven't done that before. So I'm not trying to claim credit. I'm just saying that Kubrick, the evocation of Kubrick's work through the last two documentaries I made on his films, I think have opened up filmmakers into a new world of how to show their films and create their films in a more symbolic manner. I'm going to be anxious to see Spielberg's Lincoln, because I know Spielberg saw my Kubrick films. So I'm going to be interested to see if even he's now turned to a more symbolic way, because his films are completely devoid of anything of a deep symbolic significance.
Yeah, Jay, that was really good. In fact, you evoked